This week on Two Wheels from around the world, we've got AUSX releasing their track map, saying that this is their most aggressive map that they have ever made, or track design for round 5 in Melbourne, Australia, November 30th, which is interesting because we've got 2 rounds of the World Supercross going to be in Australia, but it's in Perth on the 23rd and 24th. I was almost under the impression that it was going to be part of the AUSX, like it was going to be a triple header or something, but, you know, silly me. The Yamaha has been released. A bunch new motorcycles from the 450 to the 250 motocross bikes to the off-road stuff. And essentially, the off-road bikes have got the most advancements done to it, or changes. Most notably, the aluminum bilateral beam frame has been completely redesigned. But if we go to the motocross bikes, well, they have a new rear linkage and a new throttle tube. Because that's nifty. We don't all of a sudden just get the ODI grips and they come with a throttle tube. We keep the stock one forever. Or, you know, nobody ever puts a metal throttle tube on there. You keep the stock run, right? And new foot pegs that are lighter. Woohoo! Go Yamaha for $9,000. I kind of like the price. The 450, new clutch design along with new throttle tube. And that one's 10 grand. So Honda's sort of leaving these guys in the dust by redesigning the whole thing. And there's a interesting poll going around the internet, or debate, where, hey, do you want new revamped everything during every year integration, or do you still want it to be like 250s, then 450s every 2 to 4 years? You guys know me. Competition leads to innovation. So with Honda doing that, I wouldn't be surprised to see all the other manufacturers do this as well. Talking about some of the gnarly crashes that happened at RedBud, want to give a shout out to Bailey Kroon, who is the lapper that got his bike landed on, and luckily Deegan is still okay from this incident, but go make sure you give him a follow. And there's been lots of riders that ate crap on Larocco's leap. And there's some interesting statistics that we have from Josh Mosman from Motocross Action, because he ended up breaking his collarbone in like 4 different places. This is Mark Finnis with the Factory Club 250 ride, casing it hard. And then Freddie Noren just mangling his motorcycle over the leap as well. This jump is so iconic, but over the years, there's been less and less of a run-up to it. I know back in 2016 when I jumped it, there's a little bit more of a run-up for it. It's good to see in 2024, they made the nice sweeping turn to try to prevent some of this stuff from happening. But what's interesting to point out is a lot of guys are able to jump it during practice day or on amateur day or just an off-race weekend type of a deal, like a local race. And it's because it's not near as deep. For the nationals, you have to deal with 10-foot deep ruts and all sorts of choppy bumps in order to get all the way up and over that sucker. What MX Tech Suspension shared on their Instagram was that Josh was 3rd gear pinned to hit the leap. He was 100% throttle, 39.4 miles an hour, and close to 12,000 RPM on a 450. That is freaking hauling. I know when I did it, my Kawasaki, they were the heavy Kawasaki's back in 2016, and I was 2nd gear pinned, but I was geared a 1348, so that sucker could get up to speed pretty fast, and I was also 130 pounds. I'm guessing Josh Mosman is 160, maybe 170. Moving over to the MXGP of Lombok, you had Lucas Coonan run away with it with a 1-1 performance, and we have to give Triumph. These guys got on the podium yet again with Mikkel. He ended up going 4-3, so Triumph is doing better overseas than they are here in America. It's kind of interesting, but I would assume maybe they have more support over in Europe than they do here in America. That is my assumption. And Kaida Wolf ended up with a 5th overall, going 3-6, and Langenfeller was that top 3 for the 250 class. For the 450s, Hurlings, dude, good starts, both motos, ended up with a 1-1 for his 199th career win. Can we start saying that he is the greatest MXGP rider of all time? That's probably going to be hard to beat Stefan Everts with his records. But, dude, the dude knows how to take a licking and keeps on sticking. I don't know. You guys have to tell me what the actual quote or saying is down there. Prado is having a hard time with basically somewhat getting dropped and just struggling a bit. And he got a 4th because of some bad starts. And Vlaanderen ended up on that podium with a 3-3. So the top 3 went 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. Not the most exciting race to watch, but there we have it. Kind of segue into the most exciting race to watch was actually yesterday's stage 11 of the Tour de France. You had Taddy, who was the overall yellow jersey leader, just freaking send it on a ascent that was basically 15% to try to drop his rivals, Evenepoel and Jonas. And he did. This was 20 miles to go, and he ended up getting a lead of about 40 seconds. And Jonas, the 2-time champion, actually crawled back to Taddy, which was surprising. I personally thought that he was going to win and gain more time on his rivals. And what was interesting is even at the sprint, Jonas, who's a smaller rider who shouldn't have the power output that Taddy does, he ended up beating him in a full-blown sprint for a stage win. Jonas is one of those guys that seems to just hang back and wait for everyone to do the work for him. But this was the first time I've seen him in his 2 tours where he actually was out front setting the pace, something that we don't see from him. But the Tour de France is up and kicking. It's about halfway done with now, and I'm super stoked. As always, in closing, Ken Roczen is back doing push-ups. I want to see him at Spring Creek, but we're probably not going to see him till the end of the Nationals, maybe the last couple, or just Super Motocross. So he is doing well. He is recovering. Haven't heard anything at Eli Tomac besides he's going to start to potentially race this summer. So till next time, make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification icon. And as always, keep it WFO. Ba-ra-da-da-da-da-da.